What up, y'all? It's your boy, Coach Dee Matthews. So, full work day today. You can see cords and microphones and laying around, doing a lot of content shooting for the puppies, talking about the dogs, talking about some how-to videos. And I actually got a couple running around right now. She's heavy. Okay, so this is Hazel. Still has her tail for the request of my daughter, who won the puppy that, Daddy, do we have to cut the tails off all the dogs? I'm like, baby, it's a standard. But she's like, well, I want one that has a tail, so that's why you see. All right, we're doing too much. You gonna just take a nosedive? Brave puppies, bro. Brave puppies. Take a nosedive off the counter. Let me get a better grip. All right, so 11 weeks showed. Now you see why I be working out. Now you see why I advertise my fitness business on my AzBoerboel channel as well. I know. Come on, let's get you some pets. Maybe you want to cooperate, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, you like that. I know you like that. So this is Hazel, we keeping her. Let me show you Debo, right? And then we'll get into, this is Debo. So this is one of my 2 boys that I have left. All right, and this dude is strong. All right, so these are still puppies. Is a boerboel good for everybody? So the answer is no. And we're gonna break down why that is and why that isn't, okay? All right, so we're gonna put some of these dogs away. Here we go. All right, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What you just saw was a few of the puppies from my last litter from off of exotic BoerBoels and Texas bred BoerBoels combined, boom, made that litter right there. So basically what you have is a real muscular breed. Difference between muscular and big, okay? And the reason why I say I got a real muscular breed is because, excuse me, I just had a shake. The puppy's mom is wide chest, stocky, big forearms, big shoulders, right? Muscular like a guy, more built like a dude instead of the more feminine shape that you may see some of the BoerBoels, okay? And then I have Texas bred BoerBoel, Texas Midwest bred BoerBoel, just big for no reason. Just 170 pounds of girth, not even like if he shakes, nothing will move. You know what I mean? If he, like nothing, like he's just solid. You know what I mean? So you get that from him, and then that's the puppies that you get is that group of puppies you just saw. So anyways, let's get into it. So the BoerBoel, the South African BoerBoel. So what is that? The BoerBoel, the term Boer, I think it's Boer, not the bowl part. The term Boer, I guess, means farm in South Africa. So they were originally used to support the farms in South Africa, chasing away mountain lions, chimpanzees. The tails are docked because the chimps used to use them as handles to try to grab a hold of the dogs and whatnot. And, the dogs were trying to get them off their tails. So you cut that, you make them a more formidable opponent against South African wildlife while they were protecting the homesteads. Same thing out here in AZ. I got 5 acres. We don't live there yet, but we're building on the 5 acres that we bought. And I'm gonna let my dogs, or at least 2 of them, roam the property pretty much whenever they want. And at night, kind of put everybody down. But during the daytime, we wanna keep like just varmints away from the property as we start to grow and get other things. Chickens, start to have chickens, start to grow a garden, things of that nature. Considering a man-made pond, rocking fish out of, just stuff like that. All right. Got some notes. I ain't even finna pretend I'm finna be pretty with it right here and like not have cue cards and whatnot. How do I know if the BoerBoel is right for my family? Okay, let's start with that. Okay, a couple of things to consider about the BoerBoel is that the BoerBoel is a extra large breed dog. So right away, you're gonna need space. You don't have to live on a homestead. You don't have to have acres of property. You, however, will need either have a large house where they can have a lot of room fenced in, or maybe blocked into a certain room. Like I'm talking about a huge house, like a huge house, or have a backyard where they can run around in the backyard. Okay. BoerBoel needs a lot of stimulation. Otherwise, when it gets bored, it starts making up stuff to do. And when the BoerBoel starts making up stuff to do, it needs to be stimulated. So even if you work a 9-to-5 job, which most of us do, right? When you get off work, make sure you have time for the dog. Will you have time to teach the dog house manners, they think really, really, really fast, and their brains is as big as their bodies. So they become really smart. If they become really smart and really non-compliant, you got a real problem on your hand. It's like having a dude on the couch that just refuses to leave. He don't want to pay no rent. He don't want to get no job, and you ain't gonna make him move, right? So that's what the boerboel is if he's not stimulated. So do you have time to put in work with the dog when you get off of work? Boom, okay? Do you have kids in the house? Okay, kids are a plus with boerboels. It is a very gentle breed, okay? As big as they are, they have one of the hardest pound per bite pressure of any dog on earth, okay? But however, extremely gentle with kids. These are not pit bulls. Sometimes, we get confused with, looking at the breed and just assume that it's a different kind of breed, and it's not. We'll talk about that here in a second. But right now we're on, how do I know if the boerboel is right for my family? So number one, do you have space and time for the dog? Okay. If not, this dog may not be the dog for you. All right. Do you have money? You're going to go through at the bare minimum, a 50-pound, even if you stretch it out over a week and a half, 2 weeks, a 50-pound bag of food every 2 weeks. And that's if you're using feeding them once a day and then adding in some other stuff. Maybe you're doing a little bit of raw, maybe you're doing some veggies, you mixing it up a little bit. So to satisfy a boerboel's appetite, you're going to go through at least a 50-pound. Now, my dogs go through a 50-pound bag of dog food a week, right? So I'm buying 2 bags. I'm buying 2 50-pound bags of dog food to stretch over, right now, currently 2 boerboels. And then my puppies, I have another bag for them, another 50-pound bag. So basically I buy 3 bags almost a week. Okay. So that's that. So how you know if the boerboel is right for you? Size. Are you going to be able to stimulate them, train them a little bit? They ain't going to go pee outside by themselves. You're going to have to get in there and show them some stuff, or follow the teachings that I give you when you purchase a boerboel from me. I'm going to show you how to do all that. Then you'll be able to take the dog home and then make sure that the puppy is doing what it's supposed to do outside. All right. Now, that is how do I know if the boerboel is right for me. Now, what isn't a boerboel? Okay, that's going to be our next chapter. What isn't? All right, so what isn't a boerboel? All right, now when I say these things, am I in no way disrespecting another breed, another breeder, or anything like that? I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm actually speaking from the experience of the questions that I get in my DMs. Oh, it's just like a so-and-so. Oh, it's like a such and such. Hey, I usually do Corsos, so I thought maybe this would be a good breed for me. Same thing, right? And I'm just going to tell you, just in all honesty, no. Back when I was thinking about getting Corsos, shout out to my man Smooth Line Kennels. Question is, so he put me on, right? And I was gonna get a Corso, and he does bullies and whatnot. And I was gonna get a Corso, and then he said, "Man, you know what?" He said, "I think you're alpha enough to handle this breed. I'm gonna put you onto this breed, right? It's not a Corso." He said, "Thing about Corsos right now, they're getting real popular. You know what I mean? And everybody's kind of getting one. And, I've seen some things I didn't like in a breed. People they're just trying to crank them out because people like them. So they crossbreeding, they cutting corners. The quality may not be as quite how you like. And I know what you're looking for. You're looking for a thorough dog that can watch the home while you off doing all the other numerous of businesses." And he said, "I'm going to introduce you to the boerboel." Now, I was already looking at the Presa Caniro. And then he was like, "That may be a little too aggressive for what you want in your house. But the boerboel has the ability to be calm, and then it can turn on at the same time when there's danger." I'm like, all right, cool. So I get the boerboel, right? You know how you get a new baby, and you're like, we're going to get them these shoes and these clothes. And I was just like, yo, ain't none of this stuff fitting after a week. I'm not sure what's going on. Collars, too small. Going to PetSmart, getting other collars. Too small. Gotta go to Amazon to order special collars because they gotta be bigger. Boom, too small. My dog right now, I gotta get, for my stud, all his collars are minimum 27 to 33 inches. Wherever they are, the prong collar, the flat collar, wherever that first number say is one thing, but that last number needs to say 32 or 33 inches in order for me to even say put in my cart and purchase. If it's not that, I'm just playing around trying to get this thing either over his neck or around his neck or something like that. 33, right? So now, go take a tape measure, go wrap 33 inches around, take a look at what that is. That will put you in a mind frame of what kind of dog you're dealing with. It's not a Cane Corso, okay? It's not a Presa Caniro. I love Corsos. Thinking about even getting me a Corso just to have, a different dog on the farm when I move. It's not a pit bull. Pit bulls are strong and stocky and short. It's not a pit bull, like, no disrespect to the bully fam or the pit bull fam, and not a bully. Even with the XL bullies, I went to an XL bully store out here in Arizona, and I couldn't find anything that really fit my dog. Like, people were like, "No, just go to the XL bully store. They got everything you need. Like, you got a Boerboel, right? I ain't really heard of it much, but you got a Boerboel? Cool, just go to the XL bully store." I'm looking at chains. I'm looking at fancy Dolce & Gabbana outfits that fit XL bullies, and none of this stuff is fitting my Boerboels. None of it, okay? So, the Boerboel isn't any one of those dogs. All right. Is it fast? Yes. Is it surprisingly fast? Yes. And that's the thing. They got the droopy face and the you look at me, you be like, oh, dope. My dog is so big, people call my dog the Sandlot dog. So the Sandlot is a French Mastiff, I believe. Same family, different dog. And I almost took offense. I was like, yo, I get it. You see the ears and the face and how big he is. Not the same dog at all. My dog will go from, my stud go from to jumping up in the air and me holding something above my head and him jumping and getting it just like that. We're talking 165, 170 pound dog moving like that. That's like playing football without pads on. That's like having a football player come at you without pads. That's a small motorcycle going at top speed running into you. That's what you get when you get a Boerboel. So a Boerboel isn't any one of these breeds where you could say, hey, I kind of already had I used to do bullies. I used to do pit bulls. I'm cool. I used to do Rotties. I thought that my Boerboel was in the same category as a Rottie. I used to do Rotties. I got boxers. Ain't the same, not even in a little bit, not in growth, not in size, hold on, my bad, Joe, I had to break up a fight. Again, what a bully isn't, and what a Boerboel isn't. A Boerboel isn't a calm puppy. It isn't a just sit around dog in the early stages of his life. A lot high energy, strong. You get high energy with strength. They're gonna be knocking over stuff. It's gonna be stuff you think that they can break, they will. Nylon leashes in my house. I fought camera over here. Nylon leashes in my house, those get chewed through by my big dogs. Tie my big dog around something with nylon leash. I done blew through 4 of those before I learned. Either chains or either cords that have the plastic around it. That's it. The steel cables with the plastic wrapped around it. That's it. Anything nylon, it's army reinforced. No, not with a Boerboel. Okay, so a Boerboel is not any of these other big breed dogs that you had before. So with that being said, you're gonna need some mentorship. And I'm gonna end this section by saying this, right? So we're gonna talk about that, about having a mentor that when you get your dog, can help you through certain things. So if you shop just for the biggest and the most inexpensive, and we're gonna talk about the price and size in the next section. If you just shop with those, you might be losing in the long run. You're gonna have a headache, next 10-year headache. The length of the dog's life, the next 10-year headache on you because you only shop for price and size because you want the biggest dog. We're gonna talk about that next section next on why it's important to have a Boerboel mentor.